Namaskar, hello and a very warm welcome to CIET NCERT's special live phone-in program. Today is Monday and just like every Monday, we have the series on digital initiatives in education taken by either a state or UT or any autonomous organization. Well, today we are going to talk about the state Tripura and its digital initiatives in education. So we have a lot to discuss in this particular program. If you have any questions, any queries to raise, please give us a call on our number, which is 8800440559. My name is Tanvi Khurana and you're watching us at this moment on PM eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12 and also on our YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official. In the live chat box, you can write down your questions, queries and share them with us. Our experts are going to be here till 5 o'clock, so we have enough time and we'll be definitely taking up your questions towards the end of the program. So please share your questions and I'm sure our experts, they'll be more than happy to answer all of them. So let me tell you one more email ID, that is another medium through which you can get in touch with us. That is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. You can share your questions through this email ID. Now let me introduce to you the guests we have in our program. We have with us Shri Roy. He is an officer on special duty from SCRT Tripura. And we have with us Srimati Ambalika Datta. She is the Deputy Director of SCRT Tripura. And we have one more guest and he is Shri Kalyan Kishore Saha. He is the Technical Coordinator of Diksha SCRT Tripura. I welcome all our guests in this program. So let's begin this discussion with our first guest and he is Shri Roy. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. So let's begin this discussion and we would like to know from you that what are those digital initiatives in education that your state has taken?
Good afternoon, viewers. The state of Tripura, especially Department of Education, has taken a number of initiatives pertaining to the digital initiatives in education. So, ma'am, would you like to go on to the next slide? First of all, the major landmark decision. Next slide, ma'am. The major landslide decision that was taken by the Department of School Education in respect of adoption of NCERT curriculum. This has been a major landmark in the sense that we have translated as many as 271 titles of NCERT books in Bengali medium, which is nothing but a very tall task on our part, especially by the teachers of our state. Now we have almost 4,400 schools, out of which 95% of the schools are supported in Bengali medium instructional methodology. So out of those schools, we have distributed all translated versions of NCERT books in Bengali within a span of 1 year. And that initiative was taken in the year 2008 and it completed within a span of 1 year. Now we at the time distributed all the books to the students by 2019 before the start of the academic session. So we have translated all books from class 1 to class 12 and in a span of 1 year this NCERT textbooks in Bengali medium was adopted and implemented in all schools of the state. Next slide. The paradigm shift that was required at that point of time and the need-based reforms that was initiated by the School Education Department was in the form of, I should mention one by one. First of all, digitization of textbooks that was required at the behest of SCRT Tripura. Then training of teachers on transactional methodology of NCERT textbooks. Then we are to develop e-contents for our special initiatives in Vande Tripura educational channel and all other means of communication to our students. Then we have to develop state repository for the e-contents and dissemination of e-contents through social media platforms, especially during the pandemic's COVID-19 situations. We had to take initiative in digitization of various activities, including online admission to different teacher education institutes and for scholarship examinations. Next slide. Regarding development of ebooks, we have taken up a tall task in making our books digitized. That is there in our website ncertofficial.org. We have uploaded all the ebooks from classes 1 to 8 for almost all subjects. And from classes 9 to 12, we uploaded the PDF format of those books for helping our students. Now, the web portal, which I have already mentioned, www.ncertofficial.org, the students of our state can go through those e-books that are already uploaded in the web portal. Now, next slide, please. Now we have a clear of the state SCRT web portal. The design has been displayed in one of the slides, which may be referred to by the viewers. Next slide, ma'am, please. Now we have more such initiatives in respect of digital initiatives in the form of energized textbooks under Diksha. Now it is to be mentioned that CRT Tripura generated quick read codes for all the chapters of textbooks from studying from classes 6 to 10. All the videos can be watched by the students through such energized textbooks which are there in the Diksha app. Again, CRT Tripura printed these textbooks with I've already mentioned quick reads QR codes, and we have distributed all these textbooks to our children. It is to be mentioned, ma'am, that the pre-primary textbooks were also developed by CRT for nursery, KG1 and KG2. Along with these measures taken, we have already developed handbooks for teachers, lesson plans for teachers, and other workbooks for our children. In addition to this, our development in the field of pre-primary segment, which has been emphasized in our National Education Policy 2020 also, we have distributed, we have developed workbooks for our students under the scheme called Prayas. As you know, ma'am, we have developed 85 number of workbooks, and we have already printed those workbooks and distributed to all our children from classes 1 to 12. And this Prayas scheme has been a unique one in the state of Tripura, though we have to upload this the e-contents or the e-books of those workbooks in our web portal. And the web portal has been developed in collaboration with NCERT New Delhi. Next slide, ma'am. Now, in terms of development of state repository of open educational resources, that is known as SROER, we have developed e-contents in collaboration with Doordarshan Kendra Agartala, and presently we are in the process of developing more such e-contents because we are having a educational channel called Vande Tripura, and we are developing those e-contents through our expert teachers who are trained in this regard. Ma'am, it is to be mentioned that we have already uploaded 18 video contents in our web portal, and 500 more such video contents are in the process of development, and that will be uploaded in the portal sooner than later. We have also developed a portal of NCERT, as I already mentioned, in collaboration with NCERT New Delhi. Now, there has been a concern for us because of reviewing those contents and uploading the contents in the web portal of NCERT, since we are having lack of technical resources available in NCERT Tripura. Next slide, ma'am, please. Then we undertook a very important step in the year 2018, since in the month of February, in the form of launching of Notun Disha, a scheme in collaboration with Pratham Education Foundation. We actually had to identify where our weakness lies, where the learning outcomes of our children actually is. And in that perspective, we have adopted NCERT curriculum, and this Notun Disha project was launched, already mentioned, in collaboration with Pratham Education Foundation. Accordingly, baseline survey was conducted, covering all the students reading from classes 3 to 8, where our students actually lag behind. We actually identified 3.20 lakh children from classes 3 to 8 across the state, and we surveyed everyone. As many as 3.16 lakh children were surveyed, and it is found that quite shocking in nature that 57% of our total targeted children were not appropriate to the classes they were belonging. I mean, almost 1.80 lakh children were not class appropriate, from where we had to start the remedial measures that were undertaken after a few months by NCERT Tripura in collaboration with Pratham Education Foundation. We developed the non-instructional materials for our children, as well as instructional materials for teachers. We trained almost 17,000 teachers for taking up this massive task of remedial measures, so that our children can come up to the class appropriate level. Then also the mega parent-teacher meetings were conducted, in which almost 70% parents of our children attended, and all this data were collected online mode through an app developed for this purpose. Ma'am, next slide, please. Regarding launching of Notun Disha and development of every child, we already tracked all these students through mapping along with the mentor teachers. Each mentor teachers were allotted some number of students so that they can closely monitor our students and bringing them back to the class appropriate level, and the remedial measures were taken in respect of reading competency as well as the numeracy, where division was the main point of achievement for our children. And this mobile app, which I already referred, it was named Shiksha Darpan, where the mapping of the students were uploaded by the teachers, and in collaboration with our app Empower You. Next slide, ma'am. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many remedial measures were taken to address the learning loss which has caused on account of this pandemic, COVID-19. And almost all schools were closed for a substantial time. and this results in huge learning loss. Though we are in the process of assessing the learning loss that occurred during those crucial years that lost already. The learning process of our primary students was worst affected. We almost 70 to 80% of our children were brought back to the appropriate level before the pandemic started. But after the pandemic, we are assessing the situation, the amount of learning loss that has already taken place. To access the learning loss, School Education Department ran a survey covering elementary stage. Apart from this, to know the accessibility of our students to different digital equipments, another survey was conducted, and we are yet to receive the result of this survey. So overall, these are the few areas I have been asked to cover up, and I am ready to interact, or if there is any question, I am ready to give a reply to the same as far as my knowledge goes. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing all this information, sir. And there was one of the slides where you mentioned that you developed ebooks. So we would like to know from you that what were the challenges you faced, what were the problems during the digitization of these textbooks?
Well, this has been a major, I should say, hardship in digitization of our first books, because that was almost for the first time in our state. And we were not having such technical support which we needed, or the support for such digitization of our textbooks. It was, of course, a gigantic step for our state, but we overcame those hurdles to some extent with the help of NCERT resource persons who came in the state and took joint sessions with us for such part. In addition to this, ma'am, we are also having problem because, as you know, Tripura is a hilly state, in that there are hilly terrains in our state, for which network reach was a major issue almost in many parts of the state. In other way, we didn't have such resource persons or the expertise to review the e-contents or e-books that were uploaded in our web portal. And in addition to this, we didn't have such there was lack of awareness among our stakeholders. Even many students or the parents of the children had no idea that these e-books are available in our web portal. So this has been a major challenge to make our stakeholders, especially the parents, aware that the digital initiatives already launched in our state, especially in terms of e-books. In addition, almost 25 to 30% of our children do not have mobile phone or the electronic equipment that were required to have access to such contents already there in our web portal.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful interaction. We have a lot more to discuss regarding the digital initiatives in education taken by the state Tripura. And initially, when I told you that we have 3 guests with us, let me introduce to you our second guest, and she is Srimati Ambalika Datta. She is the Deputy Director of SCRT Tripura, and we have a lot to discuss from her. So let's have her on board and let's ask her, ma'am, would you like to share certain information regarding the digital initiatives in education taken by your state?
Yes, madam. Good afternoon. Namaskar. I shall discuss first on COVID-19 pandemic and remedial measures, madam.
Okay. So, here.
Yeah. Launching open vision. Madam, next slide, I think.
Yeah. Can you see the presentation, ma'am?
Yes, madam. But slide. Next slide, madam.
Okay. Here.
Next. Notun Disha has been covered by Devashish sir. Yes, madam. It's okay, madam. During a pandemic situation, madam, to continue the teaching learning process, we felt that it is necessary to train our teachers on using social media platform first. Accordingly, in collaboration with Aid India Foundation, Aid India Foundation is an NGO. We have trained 400 key resource persons on use of various social media platforms. I think next slide, madam. Yes, madam, it's okay. Then these 400, I was telling that we have trained 400 key resource persons on use of various social media platforms. These key resource persons then trained 17,500 teachers at block level and district level. Actually, our objective was to enable our teachers to use social media platform for teaching learning purpose during pandemic situation. Then after that, after conducting this training program, though the schools were closed, teaching learning process was continued in the state. Then teachers taking classes through different social media platforms covering the students, having the accessibility to Android mobile or PC, laptop with internet connectivity. A program namely Ektu Hello, Ektu Poro. Ektu Hello, Ektu Poro means play and read or learn, was launched for the students having only GSM phones. Then, because this program, Ektu Hello, Ektu Poro, through this program, we have designed games for learning purpose, activity-based assignments for the students regularly. Every morning, the students were informed about their activity of that day through SMS. A group of teachers were trained and deployed for this purpose. Then we have started neighborhood class also. Neighborhood classes were conducted for the students not having access to any digital equipment. I have provided some pictures of neighborhood classes conducted by our state. Madam, next slide, please. Pictures showing neighborhood classes conducted by the state. Yes, madam. We have conducted these classes for the students, those yes, madam. This picture is some assignments given to the students under Ektu Hello, Ektu Poro, that is play and learn. There was a project, play and learn. I am telling about this project, Ektu Hello, Ektu Poro. This picture is related to that project. Next slide, madam. Then Devashish sir was also telling that we have launched a dedicated educational TV channel, namely Bande Tripura, to address the learning gap of the children, School Education Department launched this dedicated channel. Our studio, existing studio, the studio was for EduSet. Bombay Tripura was inaugurated by the then Honorable Chief Minister of Tripura on 17 May 2021. Since then, regular classes are being broadcast for the students of class 1 to 12. Few live classes, preparatory classes for different entrance examinations, scholarship examinations are also broadcast through this channel. Group discussions on various important topics of national education policy, science division, different schemes of the state government or central government are also broadcast on a regular basis through this channel. Then we had launched a Bombay Tripura YouTube channel also, because to maximize the reach of Bombay Tripura TV channel, YouTube channel, namely Bombay Tripura YouTube channel was also launched. All the contents of Bombay Tripura TV channel are rebroadcast through this YouTube channel. Students can go through the contents from anywhere to reduce their learning gap at any time. Next slide, madam. Next slide. It is already covered. We are also broadcasting educational news through Bombay Tripura channel. Educational news pertaining to different teachers training programs, scholarship examinations, term examinations, and other educational information transmitted through Bombay Tripura channel, which caters to the need of thousands of stakeholders aspiring for getting updated in the field of education. Next slide, madam. These are some glimpses of activities of Bombay Tripura TV channel. Next slide, madam. For addressing the learning loss of the students during pandemic situation, SCIT Tripura developed workbook for the students of classes 1 to 12 under a new scheme named Prayash. State government launched the scheme Prayash with a view to reduce the learning loss of students during pandemic situation. The books were developed in such a manner that students can practice their daily lesson through these books. These books were provided to the students at free of cost. The SCIT also digitized the workbooks and uploaded in the web portal of SCIT for easy access to students and teachers. Some pictures of workbooks are also shown here. Next slide, madam. During a pandemic situation, we have launched two new schemes, namely Tripura Science Talent Examination, Science and Mathematics Talent Search Examination for the students of class 9 and Tripura Junior Science and Mathematics Talent Search Examination for the students of class 6 to motivate them. Then in Tripura Science and Mathematics Talent Search Examination, 400 selected students are awarded scholarship for a period of 15 months. The dedicated portal, I have shown the TripuraTalentSearch.com, was developed exclusively for undertaking the whole process from online application to result publication. Coaching classes were also taken by the selected teacher using digital platform. And similarly, we have, next slide madam, we have taken similar initiatives for Tripura Junior Talent Shaft examination and with the same web portal. And 100 selected students are awarded this scholarship for a period of 15 months. Next slide, madam. Next slide. In our diets, during that situation, SCRT trained the diet faculty on use of various digital platforms during COVID-19 situation. Trained diet faculties regularly took classes of pre-service real ED courses. SCRT also launched a YouTube channel named Unmesh Tripura for uploading classes for DAL ED students during COVID-19 pandemic situation. Next slide, madam. For continuous professional development of teachers and head teachers, SCRT Tripura adopted NCERT curriculum and textbooks we have discussed it earlier. Then in collaboration with NCERT, SCRT developed training module on transactional methodology of NCERT textbooks through workshops and trained all elementary teachers and head teachers on the modules through trained key resource persons. This methodology of training was later adopted by Ministry of Education, Government of India and NCERT and renamed as NIShtha to train 42 lakh elementary teachers across the country. Next slide, madam. NIShtha 1.0 through Diksha. During COVID-19 pandemic situation in 2019-20, SCRT translated and developed e-contents in Bengali. On request of SCRT Assam, Bengali contents developed by SCERT Tripura were shared with them. SCRT launched NIShtha 1.0 in online mode through Diksha portal both in Bengali and English. And 99% elementary teachers, that is 18,500 teachers and head teachers, completed training of NIShtha 1.0 through Diksha. Now, madam, is there any question?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. So you mentioned a lot of the things like launching of educational news, then your YouTube channel, and many of the figures you gave, they were exceptional. That's a wonderful job your state has done in the digital initiatives in education. But we would like to know from you that did you notice any positive impact of different learning enhancement initiatives taken by your state during especially the pandemic situation?
Yes, madam. Our target was to cover almost all the students, all students actually. So our main target was to retain our students in school system. That is, the school building may be closed, but school, that is teaching learning process, must go on. It was our target. So we have noticed that the dropout rate did not reduce drastically in our state. We could minimize the learning gaps of the students. It was reflected in the result of different class examinations and mathematics examinations also. At least most of the students did not forget to study regularly at that period. I think it is our achievement, and at that time we could provide mental support also during these steps, through these steps. At the same time, we have to admit that we did not cover 100% students in spite of taking several initiatives, madam.
Okay, all right. Ma'am, we can definitely understand that the COVID period was difficult for everybody, for every state, for all the schools, for students, for teachers. But everybody stood straight and they worked very hard during that period. And now that things are a lot better, I'm sure the way you have taken those initiatives during that period, they're going to be better in the future. Thank you so much, ma'am, for interacting with us. Well,
okay, thank you, madam.
thank you. For all the viewers, this was not it. I told you in the beginning that we have 3 experts with us. So let me introduce you to our third guest, and he is Shri Kalyan Kishore Saha. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar, sir. Let me introduce sir once more. Sir is the technical coordinator from Diksha SCRT Tripura. And let's ask sir, would you like to add something to what Ambalika ma'am and Debashish sir said?
Yes, ma'am. They have showed the path actually. So I am continuing from Ambalika, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am has said that we have through the initiative to complete around 99% training of teachers under NISTA 1.0. So it was completed, ma'am, in Bengali and English in both languages and both medium. And practically, I'm happily sharing the our achievement, because after completion of training program, the contents on request of the CERT Assam, we shared the contents with the CERT Assam for training of all elementary teachers, particularly Bengali medium, Bengali speaking teachers of Assam, to train them. Ma'am, next, although we have written some our measures to train our continuous professional development of teachers, we have 3 steps taken. But there are certain steps we have already trained teachers several times in several contents and pedagogy. We have trained the teachers with in collaboration with Guru Shala. It's a Pratham initiative, and we have trained teachers of 3 districts under Pratham Guru Shala program. And next, ma'am, for actually during the COVID-19 situation, around 13,000 elementary teachers were recruited by the School Education Department, and it was a big task for us to train the teachers on induction model. But that time, due to COVID, we could not arrange the training program in online face-to-face mode. So we have to arrange, we have to prepare our modules so that we can train the teachers in online mode. And actually we did, and we trained the 1,300 elementary teachers, those who were recruited during that period. Our induction modules, around 13 modules we prepared, and we trained all the 1,300, almost all the 1,300 teachers. Around 93% teachers completed the training program, although the enrollment was absolutely 100%. Ma'am, next, implementation of NAP. Ma'am, it's a big project for us and for every citizen of our country, because after a long gap, our national education policy has been published after 1986, then it was revised in 1992, and after a long gap in 2020, national education policy guideline for all the states was published. And actually, as soon as NEP document was published, first of all, we thought that people, because it was the first national education policy, it was supposed to be prepared from bottom to neck. So first of all, our responsibility was to aware all the stakeholders so that there is a big process and paradigm shift is going on after implementation of national education policy. So first step we translated the NEP document in Bengali within 15-20 days after publication of NEP 2020 document. And we also share the document with all the stakeholders in our state, and we also share the document with also can be shared with Bengali speaking people of our country in situated or they are residing in different parts of our country. Ma'am, actually after that we trained all the stakeholders, particularly we started from the district education officers, then inspector of schools and other stakeholders including agents through online mode on different aspects and areas of new education policy now. Ma'am, again, after that, the implementation of NEP is still going on. We also preparing the curriculum framework through online mode only. So, along with other states of the country, we are also preparing the ICT national curriculum, state curriculum framework for our state, ma'am. Ma'am, we have to come about our infrastructure, existing infrastructure we have in our state. Initially, ma'am, up to 2010, it was ICT at the rate school project, which was implemented in our state. But after that, there was a huge gap in our state for the around 8 to 10 years. No scheme was there. So certainly in 2018, state government got some schemes and from their own sources, initially implemented around ICT at the school project in 365 schools, and it was technically implemented in 2021, although the process started in 2018-19, but due to new technology and framing of everything, it took around 2 years to complete the process, and ultimately in 2020-21, we covered 365 schools in the first phase after a gap of around 8 years, ma'am. And then the task was we had around 400 PRPs. Actually, Ambalika ma'am and Devashi sir also mentioned these are our resource persons. These were the key resource person, and particularly they were renamed after a certain period the academic leaders. So they were our key persons at the district and block level to look after the academic matters in schools and to mentoring the whole process in our schools. So, ma'am, we have to provide some technical equipment, including laptops, to the our key resource persons, that is academic leaders, so that they can collect some data as well as show some use the laptops as a TLM during school visits. So we provided around 400 laptops to our academic leaders, as well as we also provided laptops to our inspector of schools. We have around 60 inspector of schools in our state, and plus we have some deputy inspector of schools in TTABC area. It's a autonomous district council area. Then, ma'am, these are the we have provided some photographs. We can go because we have covered all the areas of our state, ma'am. We have part schools in our state, so we have covered in such a way that every part of our state is covered in the first phase. So actually, we covered all the parts of our state, and you can see these. There are 4 pictures, and out of that, these pictures are from the remote areas, and 1 or 2 schools are from urban areas, ma'am. So next, ma'am, there are ongoing projects on ICT, ma'am. So I have already mentioned, ma'am, a state is preparing the state curriculum framework because this year NCERT and Ministry of Education, Government of India has taken the initiative to frame the curriculum framework through online mode. So most of the works we have done till date is through online mode only for framing of state curriculum framework. And next, we are developing more content, ma'am, because under PM eVidya channel, eVidya network, we have requested NCERT to provide us 2 channels, ma'am, so that we can also cover the students, those who are still we cannot cover because we have Bande Tripura TV channel, but the students are not yet covered because Bande Tripura TV channel is a cable-based TV channel. So we cannot cover the students, those who are not under the cable network. So for this purpose, we have requested NCERT to provide us 2 DTH channels, one for elementary stage and one for secondary and higher secondary stage, so that we can cover all the students. So, ma'am, we have developing content, and hopefully in next 2-3 months we can prepare ourselves to prepare all the contents as much as we preparing to start new channels. Next is, ma'am, developing a comprehensive artificial intelligence based app with MIT Agartala. We have already talked with them. We are in process to sign a MOU with National Institute of Technology, Agartala Center, Computer Division and Artificial Intelligence Department. So we are planning to have, because we have so many academic activities going on in our state, but they are scattered. So we are planning to bring all the academic activities under a single umbrella, so that all the stakeholders can get the benefit of our activities we are taking. In the next phase, we are also planning to, because every time we are training since 2018, we are running so many training programs for the teachers, but these are monotonous one and same module. Teachers are being trained on the same modules, almost same modules. So, ma'am, as per NEP 2020 document or as per MHRD guideline, we are going to conduct a need analysis training survey of all the teachers, that is competency level of teachers also, so that we can design our modules or we can train the teachers on the specific need they are having, they are requiring now. So this is our next plan, and next is, ma'am, is a big project. I can say, ma'am, it's an ambitious project. In our state, we have around 5 lakh students, ma'am, reading government schools. But as far present data, ma'am, we have only around, ma'am, 3,000 CWS student identified students, benchmark identified students. So it's a peculiar situation because as per roster and running existing reservation roster, we can have minimum have 4% reservation. But because we cannot identify the learning LD or intellectual disabled children through our open eyes or without any training, so it's a big task for us to identify the training. So that is why recently we have gone through a workshop with NCERT. We have gone through a workshop, and the experts from all over the country participated in the workshop. Right now we are planning to develop the tools to identify CWS and benchmark CWS in children, that is 21 types of CWS in students, with the help of NCERT. First of all, we will go through the app, and then we will be having the other remedial measures for them. Next is, ma'am, in our state till date, we do not have a digital library, although we have a SRO, State Repository of Open Educational Resources, but we should have a digital library in our state. So we are planning in next 1 year we will be having a digital library in our state, because our state is planning to provide 15,000 tablets to the students of primary school, as well as 9,500 tablets to all the primary teachers. And apart from these, we are also thinking about expansion of ICT project in 294 schools. And lastly but not the least, ma'am, we have a USET network in our state. Although right now, due to upgradation issues, the EduSet network is not functional, but we are in talks with the ISRO and NASA Northeastern Space Application Center and ISRO to upgrade our EduSet network, so that interactive satellite interactive terminals or interactive terminals, we can expand the network, upgrade the network, and expand the network in another 75 schools apart from existing 50 schools. So these are our, ma'am, upcoming plans. Thank you, ma'am. Right now, hopefully, next another day we can discuss more about our digital initiatives. Thank you, ma'am. If you have any questions, kindly ask me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I should be the one thanking you for sharing so much information regarding this. And you have lined up so many upcoming projects and they are wonderful. Be it giving the laptops or tablets to teachers or students, or setting up of ICT infrastructure labs in so many schools. The numbers are huge. It's a wonderful thing that you're doing in your state, and I hope it only grows, and it's of course for the benefit of all the students and teachers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to all three of you, sir, you, Ambalika ma'am and Debashish sir, for being a part of this program and for giving all the answers to what I asked. Thank you so much once again. Thank you to all our viewers for watching this program. I'm sure you enjoyed it. If in case you have missed it, please watch it again on NCRT Official. That is our YouTube channel. Well, this was a wrap-up of our program, and we discussed the digital initiatives in education taken by the state Tripura. We're wrapping up this program, but stay here because we're coming back with another special program of ours, that is Sahyog, guidance for mental well-being of the children. And the topic for discussion would be addiction to social media and ways to overcome it. I'm sure you're going to relate to this topic and you'll be raising your questions. We'll wait for it. Thank you once again. Take care. Namaskar.